Welcome back to your trusted source for all the latest news on the New York Yankees, where we make sure you're kept up to date with every major and crucial development surrounding the Bronx Bombers. If you're a true Yankees fan, you're in for a treat today, as we have some important updates that you won't want to miss. We're diving into a performance that had fans buzzing, a controversial managerial decision, and an injury scare that could have big implications for the roster. With all that in mind, let's jump right in and take a closer look at what's been happening with the Yankees recently. First off, we have to talk about the performance of Max Fried, who delivered an absolute gem of a game against the Tampa Bay Rays, leading the Yankees to a dominant 4-0 win. After a heartbreaking extra inning loss on Saturday, the Yankees came out on Sunday looking like a team with something to prove. And prove it they did. The standout moment of the game came from Fried's exceptional pitching. With the Rays offering little resistance at the plate, Fried showed them exactly how dangerous he can be when he's on his game. This performance marked his fourth win of the season without a loss, and it was a masterclass in pitching. Fried had the Rays baffled throughout, carrying a no-hitter into the sixth inning. When all was said and done, he had allowed just 2 hits over an impressive 7 2/3 innings, walking only 2 batters and striking out just 2 more. It wasn't his most dominant strikeout performance, but Fried wasn't about overpowering hitters. He was about precision. His sinker was moving like a wiffle ball, inducing weak grounders all afternoon long, resulting in 12 ground ball outs. It wasn't even as if the Rays had much to work with in terms of a scoring opportunity. Besides a weak infield single and a weak line drive that barely made it past the infielders, the Rays were completely silenced. They never really looked like a team capable of mounting a comeback. As if the pitching wasn't enough, the Rays also shot themselves in the foot with some sloppy base running. They squandered a golden chance when a player grounded into a double. Played with 2 men on base in the 6th inning, effectively ending their chance to rally. But that wasn't the end of it. There was an embarrassing moment when a runner was picked off at second base. It was a baffling mental mistake. There wasn't even a significant advantage on the bases, and it just seemed like a lack of focus. To make matters worse, a Ray attempted a steal of second base but was gunned down, adding to the series of mistakes that would define their offensive struggles. The team just didn't look prepared or sharp, mentally or physically. Frustration mounted, and by the 9th inning, the Rays had yet another opportunity for a comeback erased with another double play. It was one of those games where the opponent just couldn't get out of their own way. On the flip side, the Yankees' offense was clicking on all cylinders. They took advantage of the Rays' miscues and put together a well-rounded performance at the plate. The highlight was a massive home run by one of the Yankees' key hitters in the first inning. A towering shot that sailed a jaw-dropping 582 feet. That set the tone for the rest of the game. Another player followed suit in the 3rd inning with a double, while another added an RBI single, and yet another extended the lead to 3-0 with a beautifully struck drive to right field. Finally, in the 9th inning, a solo home run sealed the deal with the ball clearing the fence for the 4th run. It was his 4th home run of the season, and the Yankees were in complete control. The offensive execution was pristine, with every player contributing in some form. But the underlying message was clear. The Yankees were playing confidently, and they weren't going to be fazed by the Rays' mistakes. The Rays pitcher wasn't necessarily ineffective. He threw 6 innings, struck out 7 batters, and allowed just 3 earned runs, but he was constantly under pressure. The Yankees made sure that every inning felt like a potential threat. They might not have scored on every opportunity, but they forced the Rays defense to stay sharp and make plays. That's the type of pressure that starts to wear down an opposing team. The Rays pitcher did his best to limit the damage, but every time he thought he'd get out of a jam, another Yankee player would find a way to put the ball in play and add more pressure to the situation. There were some other oddities that made the game even more memorable. One of the most surprising moments was when a Yankees batter was thrown out trying to turn a single into a double. It was a rare and curious decision, but it didn't cost them in the grand scheme of things. Another standout moment came when a Rays coach was ejected after arguing a call, adding a bit of drama to the afternoon. That was a moment that kept the fans on their toes, even if it wasn't directly tied to the game's outcome. But in the end, the Yankees walked away with a comfortable 4-0 win, and that victory was even more satisfying after the tough extra inning loss on Saturday. Winning 3 out of 4 games in this series was no small feat, especially considering the circumstances. With the Rays temporarily using their home field as a neutral site this season, the Yankees were able to take full advantage of the situation and assert their dominance, particularly with Fried on the mound. It was a game that showcased their pitching depth, mental toughness, and offensive power, all of which will be critical as they continue to chase down their goals for the season. Moving on to the next update, we saw some drama unfold in the form of a manager ejection during the same game. It was one of those moments where the tension between a manager and the umpires bubbled over, and it made for an intense scene on the field. With the Yankees leading by 3 runs in the 8th inning, one of their key players stepped up to the plate after already delivering a crucial single earlier in the game. What should have been a prime opportunity to add some more insurance runs quickly turned into chaos after a controversial strike 3 call ended the at-bat. The manager, understandably frustrated by the call, immediately stormed out of the dugout to argue with the umpire crew. His passion for defending his players was clear for everyone to see. But this moment wasn't just about the strikeout call. There had been tension building earlier in the at-bat when the same player had nearly hit what many believed should have been a home run. A powerful drive down the left field line had just grazed the line and barely crossed inside the foul pole, but the umpires ruled it foul. After a review, the call stood, much to the disbelief of the fans and players. The replays were clear. The ball looked like it was fair, and the decision to uphold the foul call added fuel to the fire. The manager, who is known for his fiery demeanor, was not going to stand by and let this go without making his feelings known. He was tossed from the game for his efforts, but the entire exchange served to galvanize the team. Just moments later, the Yankees responded with a solo home run, pushing their lead to 4-0 and making it clear that they wouldn't let questionable officiating get in the way of their focus. This episode only added to the drama surrounding the shoe weekend series. Another player had also been ejected earlier in the week for arguing a 3rd strike call and had even taken to Twitter to voice his displeasure, posting, "Not even close." The league, in response, issued a 1-game suspension and a fine for violating social media conduct rules. This player, however, is contesting the decision and returned to the field after serving his suspension, much to the relief of fans and teammates alike. These ejections and disciplinary measures have added an extra layer of intensity to the Yankees' season. While the team showed resilience in the face of these challenges, it's clear that the emotional highs and lows of the game will continue to play a role in shaping their journey. As we wrap up this first update, the team's focus now shifts to a concerning injury scare involving a rising star who took a pitch to the elbow. The designated hitter, who has been one of the team's top offensive performers early in the season, left the game in pain after being hit for the 2nd time that day. Fortunately, after x-rays and a CT scan, the news was better than expected. No fractures, no ligament tears, just a bone bruise and swelling. He was ruled out for the remainder of the game, but is expected to recover soon, which is a relief given how essential he's been to the lineup. Fans are holding their breath, hoping that this injury won't cause him to miss significant time. The manager provided an optimistic update, assuring everyone that the team's medical staff is monitoring the situation closely. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for Yankees fans, but with performances like Fried's on the mound and the team showing resilience in the face of adversity, there's plenty to be hopeful about moving forward. The season is still young, but this early games are setting the stage for what could be an exciting ride. Let's see how things unfold as the Yankees look to continue their momentum and build on their early successes. The second part of the game saw the Yankees' pitching depth continue to shine as their bullpen stepped up in impressive fashion. After Max Fried's near-perfect outing, the relievers didn't miss a beat. It's one thing to have a dominant starter like Fried on the mound, but it's another to know that the bullpen can maintain that level of control and intensity when needed. And that's exactly what happened. The Yankees bullpen came in and put the game on ice, ensuring the Rays had no opportunity to mount a comeback. The first pitcher to come in was one of the team's most reliable arms, who has been a force in the late innings all season. He worked a clean 8th inning, striking out 2 batters and allowing just 1 hit. His fastball was electric, topping out at 98 mph, and his slider was just as lethal. The Rays had no answers for his stuff, and the inning passed by in what seemed like no time at all. The Yankees' bullpen has often been a strength for this team, and this was a perfect example of why. They don't just hold leads, they extend them. When the game was handed over to them, they made sure the outcome was never in doubt. The final inning saw another reliever take the mound, and while the game was essentially over by then, the job was still crucial. No one wanted to take any chances. With the Rays, who had a knack for coming back late in games. This pitcher, known for his ability to close out games under pressure, finished things off with a quick 1-2-3 inning. There was a moment of suspense when the Rays' leadoff hitter got on base, but the reliever quickly regained control, getting the next 3 batters out in short order. The defense behind him was solid, with the infield turning a crisp double play to end the game and send the Yankees home with a victory. Looking back on the game, it's clear that the Yankees' performance was a total team effort. The pitching staff, from the starters to the bullpen, was dominant. Even the offense, which had a few standout moments, did its part by keeping the pressure on the Rays pitchers throughout the game. The fact that the Yankees were able to score early and then add to their lead as the game progressed is a testament to their approach at the plate. They didn't just settle for what they had early on. They were hungry for more, and that mentality led to the final scoreline. On top of that, the defense was as sharp as it's been all season. There were no major errors, and every play was made with confidence and precision. The infield turned double plays when needed, and the outfield was on point with positioning, making sure nothing dropped in for a hit. This kind of defensive consistency is often what separates good teams from great teams, and the Yankees are showing that they're capable of the latter. The mood in the clubhouse after the game was one of relief and satisfaction. The team had rebounded from a tough loss the day before, and the performance from Fried, coupled with the bullpen's mastery, was exactly what they needed. It was also a big morale boost for the squad, as they had been battling some inconsistency in recent games. After a rough stretch, winning in such dominant fashion was a good reminder of just how talented this roster is when everything clicks. The next few days will be critical for the Yankees. They need to keep this momentum going and avoid letting their guard down. Injuries are always a concern, and while the news on the star player who took the hit was reassuring, there's always the possibility of lingering effects that could impact his performance. The Yankees will be keeping a close eye on him and making sure he gets the rest he needs. But as of now, it looks like he's on track to return to the lineup soon. His presence in the middle of the order is invaluable, and the team will need him to continue contributing at a high level. With the trade deadline still a few months away, the Yankees front office will also be closely monitoring the market for potential moves that could improve the roster. While the team is playing well right now, there are always areas that can be upgraded, whether it's adding more depth to the pitching staff or finding another bat to lengthen the lineup. It's a constant balancing act, staying competitive in the present while keeping an eye on the future. But for now, the Yankees have shown that they have the talent to win at a high level, and that's what matters most. As the season progresses, the team's depth will be tested. Injuries are inevitable, and there will be times when certain players are asked to step up and fill gaps. But this is why the Yankees have built a roster with so much talent from top to bottom. There's no one player who carries the team. Instead, it's a collective effort. Whether it's the starting pitching, the bullpen, or the offense, every part of this team is capable of winning games on its own. That depth will continue to be crucial in the coming weeks as the team faces more challenges on the road. Playing away from Yankee Stadium always adds an extra layer of difficulty, but the team has shown time and time again that they can rise to the occasion. There will be tough series ahead, and the Yankees will need to continue their disciplined approach to every game. But if they can keep playing the way they did against the Rays, they'll be a tough team to beat no matter where they play. One of the biggest takeaways from the recent game is how well the Yankees handled adversity. After the extra inning loss on Saturday, many people were wondering how the team would respond. Would they let the frustration of that loss carry over into Sunday's game? Would they get discouraged, or would they stay focused? Well, the answer came loud and clear. They stayed focused. The performance was a reflection of a team that knows how to handle both success and failure. This is a squad that's not just talented, they are mentally tough. And that's something that will serve them well as they continue through the season. As we move forward, all eyes will be on the Yankees to see how they handle the pressure of a long season. With so much talent on the roster and a strong sense of team chemistry, there's no reason to believe they won't be contenders come October. But getting there will require consistent performances from every part of the team. From the starting pitching to the bullpen, from the defense to the offense, the Yankees are going to need to keep firing on all cylinders. Fortunately, if Sunday's game was any indication, they are more than capable of doing just that. So, let's take a moment to appreciate this big win for the Yankees. It's the kind of game that builds confidence, reminds everyone of the team's potential, and sets the stage for an exciting stretch of games ahead. The road to October starts now, and the Yankees are showing that they're ready for the challenge. Keep an eye on them, because this season is shaping up to be one to remember. The future is bright for the Bronx Bombers. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Anthony Volpe has made headlines with a surprising and bold declaration that could shake the dynamics within the New York Yankees clubhouse. The young shortstop, seen as a key piece in the Yankees' long-term plans, reportedly stated that he no longer wishes to share the field with catcher Volpe Wells. The statement, which quickly circulated through social media and sports networks, has left fans and analysts speculating about the root of the issue and what it means for the team's chemistry. According to sources close to the team, Volpe's frustration with Wells has been building over time. While specific incidents have not been officially confirmed, insiders suggest that Volpe has grown dissatisfied with what he perceives as a lack of communication and cohesion between the two players during games. In a sport where trust and timing are everything, especially between infielders and catchers, any breakdown in that relationship can ripple through the roster. Volpe's stance could present a significant challenge for manager Aaron Boone, who now faces a delicate situation. Both players are part of the Yankees youth movement, and the front office has invested heavily in their development. Removing either from the regular lineup isn't a simple task, especially with the team aiming for a deep postseason run. Volpe has been praised for his maturity and leadership despite his young age, which makes his decision to go public all the more surprising. Neither the Yankees nor Volpe and Wells have officially commented on the situation yet, but it's expected that the front office will address the issue before it escalates. The coming days will be crucial in determining whether this is a rift that can be mended behind closed doors or a sign of deeper divisions within the team. For now, fans are left wondering if this is just a moment of tension or the beginning of a difficult chapter in the Bronx. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.